the big guy, that being the great Brian Kilmeade, co-host of Fox and Friends.
Different big guy than I had in mind.
Host of One Nation and the host of the Brian Kilmeade radio show.
Yeah, not Hunter's big guy. That's a different big guy.
You're our big guy.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, you're our big guy. We have lots to talk about, but let's start quickly on this Hollywood story. I mean, look, they're blaming Biden inflation. I want them to go ahead and blame the whole Biden economic package. What do you think about this?
A couple of things. That whole series, in order what you have to do to get an award, you have to have a certain amount of blacks, certain amount of whites, certain amount of Asians, certain amount of women, in order to be eligible for an award, which means millions of dollars, as you know. So to do that, they're saying this is impossible. I can't have my best key grip. I can't have my best cameraman. I can't have my best director. I have to have a diverse crowd. I can't put together my team that's supposed to win, which is a problem. I imagine if I'm a director, I'm like a head coach. Number two, this is the worst time for entertainers to boycott themselves because they've just been on hold for 2 years. And now you're trying to get people back into the theaters.
You mean like COVID on hold?
Yeah.
Which they all supported, I might add.
Right. Yeah. Well, hey, we got it. You can't do it in Hollywood, and we know all the controversy. They went back sooner, and then Tom Cruise put his own money on the line, his famous eruption. So now they're finally back, but you can't get people back to theaters unless you have a Maverick, unless you have a Oppenheimer. So now they decide
unless you had a really good movie.
Right.
Just saying.
But it used to be, go to the movies, it was okay. Go to the movies, it was all right. Go to the movies, it's a great movie, it's a long line, I'm going to wait for it to peter out. Now, people have gotten off that, like they're getting off other things that we used to consider normal in our society. For example, watching television. A lot of people watching on their phones or streaming.
Absolutely.
So this is the worst time for that. So you have the writers on strike, you have the performers on strike. We could get on without them. This is not a necessity. This isn't one of the staples of life. You're making people format their life and their weekend without them and then asking them to go back.
Who cares?
It's going to be harder.
Who cares? I just love the fact, though, the writers mostly are blaming Bidenflation. I mean, there's a bunch of articles about that.
Yeah.
That's the union message. So, that's a good start. They should just understand why Biden economics don't work
Larry, would
at
you
all.
also say immigration, too?
That's why I want a 6-part series.
Well, would you also say immigration, too? You let 4 million people into this country, into the workforce. That hurts unions. That hurts labor.
Oh, yeah, for
And they
sure.
turn around and they say, listen, what's going on here?
Absolutely. No, couldn't agree more. And by the way, the middle class, whose wages and earnings are underwater because of the inflation, can't afford a lot of these movies.
RFK had a great line today.
They can't even afford, by the way, cable TV. What did Kennedy say?
So he was on our couch and he said, what are people talking about? Inflation's going down. So you know what they're talking about? Interest rates. People want to get financing. People want to move. They want to get a loan. The interest rates are 6.8%. So what does the Fed do? Because it's their only move. Raise interest rate, get inflation. So they want a high five. But a lot of small business owners are going, I can't get money.
By the way, I didn't realize RFK said that. RFK also said, I was reading Breitbart, RFK also said Biden's extreme climate policies are command and control and denying Americans freedom. Now, I interviewed him a few times when I had another show on a different network, and he was a big climate guy.
Sure.
This is 10 years ago, 8 years ago. So he's not aligning with all these radical climate. We're trying to get him on our show. I mean,
you'll have no problem.
He's saying some very interesting things. I didn't want to talk about that, but now that you bring it up, he's saying some very interesting things.
And if you ask him his number one objective, he says, we have to find a way to get this country together. And I asked him, too, about his dad. You knew your dad? He goes, yeah, he was 14. I was there when he was shot. And he said his dad always talked about bringing people together. And he said, what's so interesting to me, I did not realize this. He said, the people that ended up were going to vote for my dad, and he thinks he would have beat Humphrey and would have beat Nixon. He said, they ended up voting for George Wallace. Because Democrats back then, a lot of them in the South were segregationists. And George Wallace was singing their song. He felt he could represent the Democratic Party and be more of a uniter.
But Bobby Kennedy, it's an interesting point. Bobby Kennedy, first of all, totally supported his brother JFK's tax cuts. I wrote a book about this subject. But he wanted to keep the tax cuts. Johnson and Humphrey were starting to get rid of the tax cuts. And Bobby Kennedy also ran against the Great Society welfare state because he said they're going to be too dependent on the government, which was apocryphal. So that's really interesting. It's a fun
what great foresight. And he was 100% right.
Anyway, I want Hollywood to do a 6-part series on the failure of Bidenomics and why it's a bottomless Pinocchio. Brian Kilmeade, let's just touch upon FBI Director Christopher Wray, testifying before Congress, kind of weaseled his way through. I didn't have a chance to watch F&F when you covered it, but I just wondered what you thought, because I don't think they really nailed him. And I think the FBI is very culpable, not only for violating our secrecy and our privacy, which is an incredible thing. That was Jim Jordan's point, but also on the issue of the Biden scandals, the influence peddling, the LLC money fraud chain, and of course the possibility of the Joe Biden bribery scandal. I mean, I don't think they got Ray, and I wondered what you were thinking about it.
I would say this. I would have called up before I went out there. Matt Gaetz got the closest when he said, I'm going to read you verbatim what that text message said. I wanted to call Matt Taibbi, call Michael Schellenberg. What did you find in the Twitter files? Because he took the job in 2017. This was happening in 2020, 2019. So you can't even say, I inherited a mess. Well, you did. But then you had 3 years where your guys and your women were calling up Twitter. Can you imagine what's going on at Facebook and saying, get rid of this account, shadow ban this account? Now, I think I'm going to give you $30 million to finish this off. How do you feel about paying taxpayer money to pay off Twitter executives to suppress points of view, which 89 to 98% were conservative points of view? Mr. Director, you're a Republican, fine. You were appointed by a Republican, I get it. Has nothing to do with this. The people working for you, should be angrier than we are.
And you wouldn't.
And the Republicans didn't seem prepared to do that.
They didn't really.
They need to be organized.
I mean, the FBI was absolutely crucial to the Twitter files, absolutely crucial to the whole issue of censorship. And he didn't really lift a finger. You're so right. It's funny. He was a Republican, but he's kind of a rhino Republican in name only. By the way, he was Chris Christie's pick. Chris Christie pushed him on to Trump. A lot of us didn't want him, but I won't go through that old
Well,
history.
he's disappointed. I mean, the president's disappointed.
I'm just saying.
Like David Souter disappointed George H.W. Bush.
That's right.
Right?
No,
he thought he had a conservative. It doesn't mean you got to make George
By the way, he was John Sununu's guy. It was a terrible choice, but
right.
I was around in those days. Where is the Biden story now? I mean, he's polling very badly still. Gavin Newsom is really mounting a campaign. I mean, let's face it. He's developed a PAC. He's been out, they call it a shadow campaign. Gavin Newsom is running for president. Bob Kennedy Jr. is running for president on the Democratic side. These scandals, are they going to stick to Biden in your judgment?
In my judgment, James Comey doing the forensics through the bank accounts, what he already revealed, would have bring forward. We understand that David Weiss is going to come forward and then have to answer the question, do you tell everyone it's a dead end, do not pursue anything related to the president? And if you are going to run against him, if you're RFK at one point, you got to sit there and say, I have a huge problem with the big guy being Joe Biden and him being the nominee. That's coming from a Democrat. If he wants to win, unless this is not a real campaign, my sense it's a real campaign. Kennedys don't go at it to lose. So if he's going to go at it to win, bring it up because the evidence is there. You already pointed out ways in which he's blending issues with Republicans.
He is.
Go to the next step. So I do think something will emerge out of that. And I do think $72 million is a pretty good number that came out. Why did they put it out, Larry Kudlow? Because that story at CNN that said that it looks like they're moving behind the scenes to get rid of him and he has no infrastructure.
Amazing. Truly amazing. Jamie Comer is doing a good job.
Yeah.
All right. He's a very pleasant surprise, I think. You're right about next week. If they get the audio tapes of the phone calls, these are the Burisma bribery phone calls, if they ever find that stuff, that's it for Biden. That's it for Biden. And my reckoning is that's it for the Democratic Party. If those tapes are real, and, on this show, Senator Grassley said they are real. If they're real and people find them and play them, that is it. That is it.
My last point on that is I talked to somebody you used to work with, who used to be in your administration, didn't give permission to say it. He told me he believes the tapes are in Ukraine. How are you going to get this out of Ukraine? How does it work in Ukraine's interest?
For $200 billion, we can't get the tapes?
I would think, well...
I mean, for heaven's sake. You're sure they're not in Montenegro?
But if you want
the gambling casinos? Montenegro, remember from Casino Royale?
Right.
Fabulous gambling casino.
But if you are the Ukrainians, do you want to hurt Joe Biden right now when he is single-handedly propping you up? Unless it feels like he's out the window.